Where I grew up. Hey everybody, it's Tom here from the Company Code, author, educator and public speaker. Today this is going to be a very personal video. I say personal as it's more like interest, for those of you who may well be interested as to where I came from, where I hail from, where I grew up, okay? For those of you who are outside of the UK, this may be interesting. I'll leave it to you anyway. So, I was actually born in Burton-upon-Trent, which is in Derbyshire. It's east Staffordshire, in the general hospital there. But I didn't grow up in that area. I grew up in a small town by the name of Burntwood. Burntwood is the Birmingham overspill. Now, back in the 50s and 60s, Birmingham as a city was becoming quite overpopulated, and a lot of people chose to move out of the city and into the smaller surrounding areas and suburbs, okay? Burntwood was one of those suburbs, one of those surrounding areas, shall we say. It took on a lot of people, and this was common across most of this area, to be honest with you. It happened in a lot of parts of the West Midlands around this time. But anyway, my paternal grandparents, as I've said, were from Birmingham. My maternal grandparents are very local to this area, okay? That's where the connection is anyway. So, as an area, Burntwood, Staffordshire, is about 20 miles from Birmingham city centre. It's also 4 miles from its nearest city, which is a place called Lichfield. You may have heard of it. And as an area, the main thing that people did round here was they were miners. It was a mining community, small mining villages that are in the surrounding area as well. You've got Chasetown, Chase Terrace. That's part of where I grew up as well. But I'm mainly from Burntwood. I'm from an area called Hammerwich. Hammerwich is a small rural village, very beautiful, very green. And growing up as a child, it's a nice area to live, very much so. And it's grown a lot, particularly even just in my lifetime. Now you've probably got best part of 300,000 people living in Burntwood and the surrounding villages. Whereas before, when I was a baby, it was a fraction of that. Obviously, we're talking over 30 years here. I'm not giving you my exact age, you can probably work it out anyway. But it's a very, very nice place to live. I'm really proud of my roots. I'm really proud of my family. I'm proud of who I am, where I've come from. I will not let anybody tell me otherwise, no way. And personal friends who don't care much for the area that we live in, but personally myself, there's a lot worse. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot better, but there is a hell of a lot worse out there to live. And no regrets, Can't help where you're born, I suppose, and who you're born to. But looking back now in hindsight, it was a good place to live. And I'm about 6 miles from it now. I've moved kind of out of it. But mum and dad aren't far away, so, and the rest of the family, so I can happily go back at any point to go visit. But as an area, Hammerwich in particular, as I said, is a rural village. There's some really, really wonderful natural parts to it. There's a windmill, which is like now known as a national monument. You've got miles and miles of green open fields. As a child I used to play football on those fields. There's loads of pubs, like literally at one stage the high street in Chasetown had like 40 pubs literally next door to each other. And it's just a nice community, to be honest. And as I've said, it become busier and busier, and more people have moved to my area as I've been alive myself. So it says a lot for it. So that's the purpose of this video, is just kind of a little insight as to where I hail from, where I've come from, where I reside, where I grew up. And I do think that it's partly shaped me to be the person I am today. Obviously, with my spiritual background now. People who are spiritual love the countryside. Well, in all fairness, I've never been far away from it, really. And at some points, whenever I was going to work somewhere that was more like a city, and I'd come home, I'd drive down the road, I'd see those green fields, and there'd be a smile on my face. So I guess you can take the country out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the country, and vice versa and all that. But there you go. So anyway, that's the second video this week. Very personal one. I'd be interested to know. Put down in the comment section below. Where did you grow up? What are your fond memories of that place? Is it somewhere you're still quite close to in your heart, and do you visit it? You know. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below, leave a thumbs up and a like, and let's hear that bell sound go ding dong, so that you know when my next content's out. Until then, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for being here as always. I will be back in like the back end of the week with my third and final video. Until then, take care and bye for now.